Hello, today I have the pleasure of speaking to Jett Yang, who is founder and CEO of Uberbinder, which is a Liverpool-based innovation startup transforming the resilience of one of the UK's most critical infrastructure sectors, which is road building, in case anyone didn't know. So, welcome to the latest edition of Power Talks, Jett. I'm absolutely delighted to have you on the show. Can I start by asking if you could just tell us a little bit more about your company, what you do, and the new technology you have made?
Okay. So Uberbinder is a public benefit corporation initially founded from San Francisco, and we decided to relocate to the UK to help meet our goal of achieving sustainable and resilient transportation infrastructure.
Mhm. Fantastic. So you've relocated to the UK, you've relocated to Liverpool. What is,
That's right. We're
oh, yes. How
hmm.
strong is your workforce? How many people do you have working for you at the moment?
We have four, but
Mm,
it's misleading just to mention who are the full-time because we have a
mhm,
number
mhm.
of advisors located in various places around the
Okay.
world. But
Fantastic.
in Liverpool, we have four.
Okay. And can you tell me a little bit about Roadbinder? So it's a sustainable material. Can you
Mhm.
give me some sort of technical
Mhm.
detail about how it
Okay,
works, what it's
sure,
made
sure.
out of, that sort of
Most people drive over asphalt every single day, and it's so ubiquitous, you don't even think about it unless you hit a
thing?
nasty pothole. There's over 25 million miles of paved roads in the world, and that's enough to go to the moon and back 50 times.
Fantastic.
And we use over 2 billion tons of asphalt materials every year using energy and carbon intensive fossil oil derived bitumen binder to just manage to maintain current roads. And this number doesn't include new roads.
Mhm,
And so, with the demand for world's infrastructure growing and climate goals tightening, we desperately need a sustainable, massively scalable alternative to bitumen now.
mhm, mhm. And it's pretty unique product on the market, I understand.
Yes. Well, it's not entirely unique because sulfur-based polymers have been around for a while. In particular, the last time there was, besides this global crisis, this global supply shock, which is the biggest, the last, second biggest happened in the 70s, and similar with Iran and Israel and the USA.
Mhm,
And at that time, there was a shortage of bitumen for road maintenance, and so sulfur was used to extend it. It's called sulfur extended asphalt, and it
mhm,
was just straight sulfur. But what we have done is we have taken sulfur, and it's got a couple of negative qualities, which is it's a little too brittle.
mhm,
And it produces hydrogen sulfide gas, which is not a very nice smell.
mhm,
But
mhm,
we've been able to take lipids or natural oils and fats and what we call inverse vulcanize it,
mhm,
which is you take the sulfur molecules, you crack it open, and you cross-link it with different cross-linking molecules. And we have a patent on that.
mhm,
And so we have been able to produce what we call sulfur-based biobinder that replaces bitumen in road building.
mhm. Fantastic. Jet, it sounds like you very much have a scientific background. Is that correct?
I don't. Me and my
Oh.
co-founder, we're generalists.
Mhm,
Went to business school. My
mhm,
co-founder
mhm,
went to design school. So we've been working in the areas of strategy, developing products, brands, and markets
mhm,
for 3 decades, each of us. So we know how to orchestrate and bring teams together. So
mhm,
we are the only one without PhDs in our company.
mhm,
Every other members of the team have PhDs in polymer science, civil
mhm,
engineering, and
mhm,
materials.
mhm. Fantastic. So basically, with the situation out in the Middle East, Strait of Hormuz, this material, this process has kind of hit a bit of a zeitgeist, hit a bit of is having a bit of a moment, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Hopefully
you
sustainable.
have to be careful because this situation is recurring. It's
Mm,
just now come to the consciousness of many people,
yeah.
and especially in road building, where a lot. I mean, it has been really, really optimized to be
Mm,
really efficient over the past several decades, and so sometimes one segment of the road building industry doesn't know
mm,
what's happening
mm,
on the other
mm,
side.
yeah.
But that and so uh, right now, pre-Iran US
Mm,
war, Brent crude index is about 70, $80, and
mm,
bitumen selling at about four to $500. It's already over $600, in some
mm,
places up to $900 per metric ton of bitumen,
mm,
which means that a lot of the roads in the UK that is not getting repaired and is full of puddles are,
mm. Yeah,
are not
I've
going to be
noticed
repaired
that.
further yet.
I've noticed that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And based on, I follow International Energy Agency, but also, key players like BP and ExxonMobil. ExxonMobil recently put out a outlook to 2050, and it looks like fossil oil is flatlining from now all the way to 2050 at about 100 million barrels per day.
Mm,
And the Strait of Hormuz is responsible for 20% of that.
mm,
And so when you, in that context, look at the
mm,
UK, UK may be energy sovereign, but it's not material sovereign. It has to import
mm,
about 70 to 75% of bitumen from overseas, especially with Ukraine and with Iran. UK is very vulnerable to, in terms of material sovereignty,
mm.
UK has some major challenges.
Okay. I don't really want to go too much into politics, but do you think the current trajectory of government policy is correct in terms of, um, uh, moving away from oil, the North Sea
Well, one
drilling?
of the reasons why we relocated to the UK is because UK is very progressive in those terms.
Mm,
And so,
okay.
whether it's SCI, a society of chemical industries with their
Mm,
industrial
mm,
strategy
mm,
manifesto, or
mm.
with the various UK governments or Department of Transportation, they are very progressive in exploring new ways
Okay.
and new materials.
So it's more of
So
a
it's been
mix rather
fantastic.
than it's good to have that mix rather than put all of the eggs in one basket. So yeah, what do you think about finally, Jet, the future of sustainable materials in road building? Do you think, that's definitely the future,
Right,
and
right.
how do you foresee it
Yeah.
developing?
Yeah. We have to first of all take on a wider boundary lens because when you look very narrow terms, everybody's
Mm,
carbon accounting, and that's not
mm,
enough. Sustainability is much more than that. Sustainability is about availability, about supply shocks.
mm,
We need to address a much broader, more
mm,
complex web of variables that comes into
mm,
developing sustainable and resilient transportation
mm,
infrastructure within the
mm,
UK.
mm, Okay. Good answer. Thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you today, Jet, and thank you very much for joining Power Talks. Thank you.
Thank you. My pleasure.